Shalom. First and foremost, all praises, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakarkwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to the hopeful elect, pushing his word in truth and in sincerity. To the Israelite foreigners scattered throughout the four corners of the earth who may look like the heathen nations. And to the few sisters that listen and learn, to you, Shalom. I'm the brother Yasharala with Great Millstone, Chicago. All right. For the new listeners, Yahweh is the true name of the Heavenly Father. Um, his true Hebrew name, his only name, Yahweh Shai, is the true Hebrew name of his only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. All right. Basically, this is going to be a part two to the video I did called "Prove They Are the Edomites." All right, which proving it with the scriptures. All right, so we touched on Alexander in this video, the Greek, going back to Philip of Macedon, and then we linked up Philip of Macedon with Haman, the Macedonian, and then linked up Haman, which is an Edomite. It also says he was an Agagite, which when you go through that line, it brings you back to Amalek, which was, if I'm not mistaken, a grandson of Esau Edom. So we took that route, but we're going to take another route on this lesson. Yahweh willing, is edifying. All right, I got some scriptures pulled up and some images. We're going to start in Malachi 1, and let's read verse 3. All right, it says, "And I hated Esau and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness." So, right here, God is saying that he hates Esau, which Esau is speaking about the not only the individual Esau himself, but his whole lineage, his whole line. All right, just like the scriptures talk about Israel and Judah, or certain scriptures say Joseph, which represents the northern kingdom, or to say Judah, which represents the southern kingdom, you know. Um, Here it's speaking of the nation of Esau, and it's going to prove it as a matter of fact. All right, because verse 4 says, "Whereas Edom," see, that's the whole nation, "saith, we." So that's more than one. That's not just speaking of one person. Oh, that's just speaking of Esau himself. No, it's speaking about all you Edomites because it says we, more than one, right? Are impoverished. But we will return and build the desolate places. All right, and that's what we're going to touch on. Esau returning and building the desolate places. All right. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against. Oh, see, and the people. So it's not just talking about Esau, it's talking about the people, the nation, Edom, the Edomites, the people against whom Yahweh hath indignation forever. So the Heavenly Father has a righteous hatred towards these um, nation of people. All right. So what was the desolate places that they wanted to rebuild? Well, it was what did they do? They rebuild Rome all over again, and we're living in it. It's called America, Babylon the Great. All right, this is what Esau rebuilt up. He rebuilt up his version of Rome. We're gonna touch on that. All right. Um, Hold on. Let me read this Ezekiel 35. And one, it says, "Moreover, the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it." Now, this is speaking of, it's not speaking of the land, Mount Seir, all right, because what Ezekiel, he didn't tell Ezekiel, go to where Esau's home is, Mount Seir, the mountains, and prophesy against the land. No, it's about the people. Just like, again, when the scriptures refer to uh Israel, all right, you children of Israel, was it just talking about the sons? No, it's talking about the entire nation. All right, so and that's the land, Israel, Jerusalem. Here, Mount Seir, all right, is Esau's home. So it's us speaking against the nation, right? It says, verse 3, and say unto it, thus saith Yahweh God, behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and will make thee most desolate. All right, and then I'm not going to read the entire chapter, but the point is, in verse 2, it says, set thy face against Mount Seir, all right, because that's Esau's home. So let's take a look. All right, at Esau's home, which today is known as modern day Petra. And what do you see? The architecture. All right, look at the architecture of Esau when he was living in the mountains, in his homeland that was in which the Heavenly Father gave to him. All right, he gave him this as his inheritance. Okay, and what do you see? Look at the architecture. Does that look like something here in America? All right, let's take a look. Now I typed in, you know what? Okay, um, so that's Esau's home, Petra. Modern day, it's called Petra. Ancient times, Mount Seir. So then let's go to Rome, and you could tell a lot about a place by the architecture. You could tell what type of people live there based off their architecture. Now this is Rome, right? Let's look for something. All right, right here you see what? You see the same pillars, the same columns that we just seen at Esau's main home, Mount Seir. It says 36 hours in Rome's things to do and see. Okay, so you see the pillars there. There's, I'm pretty sure there's more, uh, and that today will be, like a coliseum. All right, basically like a football stadium or a baseball stadium. I believe that's a coliseum. Look at the top, the dome tops. All right, look at the top domes over here on this building. All right, look at the architecture now, which it's a known fact. Esau Edom, the self-proclaimed white man, was ruling in Rome. You got the Herodian dynasty, King Herod, the one who tried to kill Yahushua when he was a baby. All right, when you look him up, it says that his father was Antipater the Idumean, which is another way of saying the Edomite. So the Edomites were in Rome, all right, and then you could tell by the architecture because look at how they build the same way, all right, the same way Esau built in Mount Seir. There goes the pillars again. All right, let's go back to Esau's land over here. You see that? The pillars, all right? Look at this Edomite woman in her natural habitat. And then there's also an image, I couldn't find it, but there was a eagle as well. Let me see if I can find that. Because that's gonna up there it goes. Oh wait. See, and then Esau likes to use the eagle, and we're gonna read that as well. Now the internet wants to act slow. You see, he got eagles in the carvings of his home. I don't know why the pictures kind of look blurry. Okay. So now let's go to Washington D.C. as an example. Oh, look at that. Not only do you see the pillars, right? Let me turn this down. I think it's the Wi-Fi that's acting goofy. Not only do you see the pillars, right? Just like Petra, just like Rome. Look at the dome on the top. Just like how it looked like in Rome when Esau was ruling. All right, and then basically America is Esau, all right, building up his his version of Rome all over again. Rome 2.0, right? Him rebuilding the desolate places as you read in Malachi. All right, now let's go to Obadiah, the first chapter. We're gonna read, get to the point, right? Verse 3, it says read verse 1. It says, the vision of Obadiah, thus saith Yahweh God concerning Edom. All right, so this is concerning the Edomites. Now we're just going to go back to verse 3. The pride of thine heart have deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? And we just seen the picture, right, of the Edomite chick sitting on a high habitation. That's their home. All right. That's how Esau um he likes to live in the cleft of the rocks. Now today you'll have they got pictures of, I don't know, I seen pictures before where you see like the holes in the clefts of the rocks. All right, and now today these skyscrapers will be the his version of the clefts of the rocks, living in those caves. He has his skyscrapers now where he has his apartments and his condos. And let me see, let me see if I put caves, see if it pops up. Here you go. All right, they were living in those holes in the side of the caves, right? That was his those were his apartments and his condos and shit up in the mountains. And now today there'll be your skyscrapers and shit. All right. But it says what? It says so he's prideful. He doesn't think he can go down. Verse 4 says, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith, oh, thence will I bring thee down, saith Yahweh the Lord. Okay, and there goes another clue. They exalt thyself as the eagle, and then we just looked up. What's on the back of your dollar bill? The eagle. What's on the American flag on the pole? You got an eagle. Esau's used the eagle, right, as to represent him. Let me see. Let's go back to the eagle picture. All right. Now that was Mount Seir. So you had him ruling as the Greeks. All right. Let's do um Oops. Look at what this says right here. It says Caucasian eagle. But throughout all his rulerships, he used the image of the eagle. I'm trying to find something that's like let me see. Let me see what this says. Feature what? See, did any ancient Greek or any civilization feature eagle as their symbol, or was it just a Roman thing? You see, which the Romans did as well. I'm not about to read all of this. Let me see. It says, "Is there a reason ancient Greek, Roman, and other cultures adopted the eagle as their standard slash representation of a god, etc.?" Right? Well, yeah, the reason is the ancient Greeks, which were originally who was it, Japheth, but Esau ran them out, and then Alexander was the first over Greece, over the Greeks, which the first Edomite ruler over the Greeks, because Esau, he takes over somebody's stuff and claims to be that, so to be them. So the reason is because it's the same people, it's the same Edomites. That's the reason, you know. Mm, all right, not gonna spend too much time on that. Let me put in Rome. I'm trying to see if they have anything. Ancient Rome, you got an eagle right here. Eagle Roman Empire. So nonetheless, Esau has used the eagle in all his damn rulerships. He had it up in Mount Seir. He had the eagles carved up. Greek, Rome, and as a matter of fact, today. Okay, let's look at the dollar. Okay, you got the eagle. So this all links up to prove they are the Edomites. All right, you go back to their home, their original home. Look at the architecture. Look at the architecture of the Greeks, the Romans, the architecture of Washington D.C. All right, not only Washington D.C. Let's see. All right, this is here in Chicago's Soldier Field where the Bears play. All right, let's see if I can find the picture. Um, right here when you're driving on Lakeshore, you see the pillars on the outside, right? It's a giant circle. For the most part, all the museums here in Chicago have these pillars in the front. All right, and look at it. It's a big circle. See right there. You got Lakeshore Drive right here. Then you got the front of it. It's got the pillars in the front, and it's a big ass coliseum, right? Just like we seen in what picture do we see it in? Basically, it's one of these. just way bigger. All right, let me see what else do I got. I got one more. It says, oh yeah, let's go to Thessalonians, Second Thessalonians 2 and 3. It says, "Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first," which that was 70 A.D. when we fell away and also discontinued from our heritage. You know, it says, "And that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition." All right, who's the man of sin, the son of perdition? Esau, Edom. Let's read a little bit more. That was verse 3. Oh yeah, as a matter of fact, check this out. "Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple as God, showing himself that he is God." So then this person is gonna do what? Show themselves that they are God. So let's see who's showing themselves as God. Let's just type in God. God. Let's see what we get. Oh, who does that look like? Looks like an Edomite. Looks like a so-called Edomite according to the scriptures, right? That's not what the scriptures say God looked like. That's not what the scriptures say. Oh, look it. That's supposed to be the son of God. That's not what he looks like. But that's Esau, right? Showing himself that he is God, the son of perdition, right? Let's read a little bit more. It says verse 5, that remember ye not that when I was yet with you I told you these things, and now ye know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time. And the Edomites are being revealed. Okay. Back then, they weren't known as the wicked. They weren't known as the sons of perdition. This the nation that's gonna be destroyed. They were just the Edomites. Oh shit, yeah, that's our Jacob's brother. Yeah, oh bad Uncle Esau. But now fast forward in the future, we know why they are the wicked. All right, it says verse 8. Nope, verse 7, it says, "For the mystery of iniquity doth already work." All right, because during that time, Paul wrote this. How were they at work already? They were at work as the Romans. "Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way." And he who now letteth will let is the Heavenly Father. He's allowing Esau to rule until he be taken out of the way, going back to that Obadiah, right? Verse 3. It says, verse 4 says, "Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest amongst the stars." Oh, as a matter of fact, set thy nest amongst the stars. He set up his satellites and his weapons in low orbiting Earth, which would be considered the stars, so-called outer space. All right, he did that. "Thence will I bring thee down, saith Yahweh." So the Heavenly Father is bringing him down, and ever since he did that, his whole space race and his fake moon landing, that's when this place started falling. Slowly and surely it is. Verse 8, "And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom Yahweh shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming." And who is the wicked? Well, we read in Malachi 1, it says what? It says that Esau, right, or Edom is what? The border of wickedness. As a matter of fact, let's hit up that Job really quick. All right. This is Job 9, and it's going to link right back up with that Second Thessalonians. Job 9 and 24. "The earth is given into the hand of the wicked." Who's the wicked? Esau, Edom, the border of wickedness. All right. Back in Thessalonians, it says what? "And then shall that wicked be revealed." All right. And how is he being revealed? Through the scriptures. Who's the wicked? Esau, Edom. The earth was given to the hands of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? And who's covered the faces of the judges thereof? We just looked it up. He did it. Put himself up as God, the Son of God. He put himself up as the disciples. He put himself up as the angels. He put himself up as the children of God. He did that. Who? The Edomites. Blasphemy. Look, he got himself up as the angels and all of that. Okay. And he's being revealed. Prove they are the Edomites. All right, how did I have it titled? Yeah, prove they are the Edomites. It says, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders. All right, so they got the spirit of Esau. Esau got the spirit of Satan on him. All right, and he's a liar and he's the father of it. Like it says in John, what is that? John 8:44. All right, and let's get that. John 8:44. Ye are of your father the devil, which he was cursing out wicked Israelites, saying you're just like the damn these damn Edomites, the devil, which means a deceiver, a slanderer, a false accuser. It says and the lusts of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning. Who's he talking about? Well, ultimately, if you understand the scriptures, it's going back to Cain. All right, Cain was Esau was Cain before he was Esau. All right, and Cain came back as Esau. All right, so same spirit. Says he was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. All right, and that's going to the wicked. Esau, Edom. The serpent was Esau. All right, and it wasn't a snake. So yeah. So basically, in this part two, we touched on the land, Mount Seir, Esau's homeland. We touched on his architecture. We touched on him using the eagle, and we touched on his architecture from his original homeland, Petra, which is Mount Seir, to the Greeks, to the Romans, to this very day. And you could tell a lot about the civilization of a people or of the land based on their architecture, which the way Esau built was the same way he built in his original homeland. He did it in Greece as the Greeks. He did it as the Romans, and he's doing it today as so-called white people, which are the Edomites. Yahweh Ratazah, this was edifying. Till next time, Shalom.